This is Keep On Cooking, a podcast for people who love cookbooks and want to know more about the authors. It's also a great place to get a weekly dose of culinary inspiration to keep things pumping in the kitchen. So grab a cookbook and keep on cooking. I'm Dustin Harder, and this is Keep On Cooking. Hello and welcome to Keep On Cooking, the only podcast dedicated to plant-based cookbooks. I'm your host, Dustin Harder, and I'm here to share some stories behind the recipes with you. I have such a special guest today. Jenné Claiborne from Sweet Potato Soul is here to chat with me. And listen, we're going to get right into it today. Let me tell you a bit about this book. It's 100 vegan recipes that bring plant-based fun to the plate for every meal of the day, from the beloved author of Sweet Potato Soul. Jenné Claiborne knows that vegans have more fun. She's been enjoying the vibrant health, energy, and joy from eating plants, vegan vibes, for more than a decade. In that time, the vegan space has exploded with fake meats and cheeses, fast foods, and processed treats galore. While exciting, these options don't tap into the vibrancy of the vegetable world. In Vegan Vibes, Jenné invites you to fall in love with cooking and eating plants in their delicious diversity. After stints in New York City and Los Angeles, she's returned to her hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, where she is freshly inspired in her vegan kitchen by the city's multicultural influences: collard green soup mellowed by miso, sweet potatoes crisps in the air fryer and heated with jerk seasoning, and corn ribs kissed by Korean gochujang sauce. Jenné has transformed her favorite veggies into crowd-pleasing meals that are quick and easy enough for even the most hectic schedule. Vegan Vibes offers 100 dishes that are almost as much fun to make as they are to eat. That means laid back whole food based ingredient list plus straightforward no fail techniques. And her unique flair for flavor elevates the simplest dish. A citrus spin on mushroom carnitas tacos, watermelon gazpacho for the ultimate refreshing soup, and magical hummus packed with umami mushroom flavor. Brimming with unexpected, flavorful dishes, Vegan Vibes is the cookbook that will inspire everyone, vegan or not, to crave more plants. And here she is to fill us in on those good vegan vibes. It's Jenné Claiborne. She's a Georgia peach living in Atlanta with an insatiable love for her family, sweet potatoes, nutrition, and yoga. Please welcome back to the Keep On Cooking podcast, Jenné Claiborne. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to go right into your icebreaker question.
Okay.
What's a childhood snack that you still love?
Oh my gosh, Fig Newtons.
That's a good
They're
one.
so good, right?
That is a good one. I had a weird relationship with those when I was like, I liked them, and then I was like, no, it feels healthy. I don't like it. Then
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, I love them.
I didn't have that, but I think part of my love of them, especially once I was older in high school and had some sort, awareness of healthy, not healthy.
Yeah,
Part of my commitment to them was the fact that I thought they were really healthy,
sure. Yep.
And I mean, I think they are, like, they've got a lot of fiber in them. So
Healthier than some
very
other cookie treat you might be eating, that's for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially, I also loved oatmeal cookies I don't remember the brand name, but they seemed fresh and they were soft. They weren't actually fresh. They had a lot of preservatives, I'm sure, but they were like soft oatmeal cookies.
Yeah.
I loved those. I loved the, chewy Chips Ahoy cookies too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
obviously, compared to those, especially compared to the Chips Ahoy, that Fig Newton was the healthy choice.
Much healthier. Yeah. And are the fig Newton? I haven't looked into this as I've been vegan now, because they were never my go-to. Are they vegan, or is there
I
something?
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't had Fig Newtons in so long. And as we're like, I was thinking about it before. I was thinking I need to make a vegan recipe, because what I've done, like when I first became vegan and I started my blog, instead of just like doing a Fig Newton recipe, I created like an even healthier thing, which are these like fig walnut bars.
Delicious.
And I'll do a drizzle of chocolate on top, but it's not a Fig Newton. It's
Sure.
it's something totally different,
Sure.
but it still has that same it's figs, you know, the dry.
Yep.
So we need to make an official, legit Fig Newton vegan recipe ASAP.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I will happily step up and make that after you put it together, after you do the work and put it together for us. I feel like you might have a better origin with the Fig Newton than myself. Like you seem to really enjoy it. So like, you know, where I was kind of on the fence.
Oh yeah, exactly. If they are indeed vegan, then I will buy the regular, you know, the actual version, and I will eat them to make sure, you know, cross compare to the T.
Yep, because you'll crush it. You'll crush it, of course.
Thank you.
Mine was for like a childhood snack. I used to love tossing like shredded cheese on a tortilla, putting it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. And with vegan cheese, like you can't really, it's not the same melt in the microwave at 30 seconds.
Microwave with the vegan.
What's that?
I haven't done the vegan cheese in the microwave.
It's, you know, it'll melt, but not in like 30 seconds. You know, it's got, as we know, it's gotten much better over the years. But you know, it's like to get it to melt, you kind of need to steam it. Like if you want to get a good melt out of it. So I've tried it, you know, since I've been vegan, and you kind of, if you heat the tortilla too long, then you just have like this like scorching hot tortilla and like semi-melted vegan cheese. So there's no happy balance with it yet, but it's fine ultimately because it's not like a snack I'm like, ooh, I must have that still. But like as a kid, I just remember cheese and a tortilla. You know?
It's not the same satisfaction if you just make a quesadilla on the stove.
It 100%. So delicious. So yummy. That just feels like, you know, this was like the lazy snack of a kid, right? I'd be like, toss it in the microwave and go. Because hello, quesadilla, here for it. Absolutely. 100%.
Right? Okay, good.
My problem is I can be like I am very much a purist, so I'll be like, ooh, I want a cheese quesadilla, but I'm also still a chef. So I'm like, but wait, we want to chef up this quesadilla, don't we? You know, so like sometimes I got to stop myself and be like, you do enjoy simple things as well. Like keep it easy.
That's my favorite thing about quesadillas is that they can be so simple. You don't have to do all the stuff.
Yep, you don't have to do all this stuff, and it's still going to be satisfying and delicious at the end of the day. So good. Well, Jenné, it's an absolute honor to have you back on Keep On Cooking, and it's always great to see you. And listeners, you can hear Jenné's episode where we discuss her first book, Sweet Potato Soul: 100 Easy Vegan Recipes for the Southern Flavors of Smoke, Sugar, Spice, and Soul, where we also dig a little bit deeper into her history and how she got where she is. And that's episode 35 of Keep On Cooking. So if you want to go there now, we'll be back here waiting for you, because today we're going to chat through Jenné's second cookbook, y'all. This is Sweet Potato Soul: Vegan Vibes, 100 Soulful Plant-Based Recipes for Healthy Everyday Meals. Now listen, everybody, it just dropped in stores today. So happy Pub Day, Jenné.
Thank you.
Yes. Are you feeling it? Are you so excited that it's out in the world?
Yes, I'm so, I mean, it's been such a long process. Such a long, like, I think I started working on it like 2.5 years ago, you know, like in earnest, like so much of my, you know, my regular posting with Sweet Potato Soul on the back burner to work on the cookbook, because, you know, it's, you got to give it your time. It's obviously not, it's difficult to do. So I put so much on the back burner, and I like took a 18-month hiatus from YouTube.
Wow.
I'm back now. I did come back about a year ago, but it's just been such a long process, and it feels good to get it out. And I will say, compared to having like an actual human baby, for me, this is so much harder. Like honestly, so much harder. It's the process is so much longer. I could have like 3 kids by now. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's funny.
Already, I'm so glad. Get it. The baby is out.
The baby is out. It's out, so everyone can enjoy it. Well, and this book from the jump, y'all, I got to tell you, it is an actual vibe. The purple alone has got me feeling things. I love it so much. It's so good. And of course, the photography is outstanding. And everybody, we all know the recipes are going to be absolute fire. So, Jenné, when setting out to write this second book, you're talking about the time of it all and everything. But in this approach, writing a second book, is there Are there lessons you learned from writing the first book that made this effort a little smoother, or how was it different for you by any chance?
Let's see. Recipe development, yes, certainly. I was a lot more organized this time around. I had a little bit more help when it came to organization, because I am just naturally, I can be like organize my spaces. I like a very clean, organized house.
Mm-hmm.
But up here and on the computer, it's just crazy. You know what I mean?
I know exactly
You
what
know
you
what I
mean.
mean?
Just the most chaotic desktop whatsoever. And then even when I organize it, I'm kind of just shoving stuff in places. I'm like, how is my
Yes.
kitchen and my bedroom clean and my lit? Like, how are my spaces clean? But this I cannot keep
Yeah,
together.
no, I think it's because, like, for me, I'm a very tactile person. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even like to spend that much time on my computer or my phone or just with devices. I like to be in real life
Yep.
outside. And right before I got on the call with you, I was just outside for many, many hours on the porch. And I do try to work outside because that is one of the only ways I can focus enough to get something done because I'm surrounded by real life.
Yep.
So yeah, when I sit on the computer to organize something, whether it be my recipes or, in the case of this cookbook, organizing recipes that are being tested by 15 other people and all their
Mm-hmm.
feedback. It's just like it's almost like it's not real, right?
Yeah.
Like the what everything on here to me is not real. I need to be able to touch it, smell it, taste it, which is also why the actual creation of the recipes, that development of recipes, I love that. I
Yep.
love in the kitchen. If I could only do that, I'd be happy,
Yeah.
If somebody else help me write them, take the photos, share it with
Yeah.
everybody, great. But I just want to do the food, cooking, eating,
Heard.
tasting part.
Yeah. Absolutely. I get that 100%.
Yes.
Well, I love when we open the book up, you say you'll know a vegan vibe when you feel it, an energy that's bright, positive, balanced, clear, and thriving. I love that perspective. Gets us into the vibe right away. So, what brought you to the conclusion that the vegan vibe is shimmering with all of these positive attributes that you mentioned?
Because I've been vegan since 2011, and I know there have been a lot of people, a lot of other vegan bloggers, and just people in general come into this lifestyle of veganism and will sometimes feel like it's restrictive. They can't stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know their reasoning. I'm not in their bodies. People have a lot of reasons, but from somebody who has been vegan for now, I'm hitting 14-year mark in the spring. I really myself, I experience this way of eating and living with those attributes. Like I am thriving. If I go to the doctor and I get my blood tested, I'm not missing anything, right? So we know like actually I'm doing well, but I also feel well.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, I feel like I have purpose. And then when it comes to the actual food, the food that I eat on a daily basis is delicious and makes me feel nourished and just vibrant. And I really wanted to communicate that because I know a lot of people come to Sweet Potato Soul for the recipes, but also for my little spice, right?
Sure.
Because
Sure.
they see me as an example of someone who is actually thriving on this plant-based diet. So I just wanted to infuse the book with that because I mean, I don't know like what it is. I know that I feel great, right? And if I can just communicate exactly what I do to feel great, then hopefully I can help a few other people feel great too. And it's all about the vibe, y'all. It's all
Yeah.
about. I just really wanted to give back and just give people empowerment and inspiration and excitement about food and plants and people feel like I can do it. And if I have a problem with it, like let's say I'm not feeling nourished, I'm not feeling like I'm getting my ABCs and all the vitamins and stuff, then I can fix it. There's something I can
Mm-hmm.
do. Maybe I can make a shift because the world of vegan eating is so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to be like you buy this one package of food and if it's not serving you, then it's not for you. I'm trying to open up the whole like abundance of plants so people can see that no matter like what their lifestyle is, you can probably find your way in this way of living.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you say something I mean, it's a simple thought, but it's so true. And I think so many people new to a vegan diet are like, oh, but I tried this one thing and I didn't like it, so a vegan
Yeah.
diet's not for me. And I say this all the time. I'm like, y'all, it's about trial and error. Like, if you look at the non-vegan stuff that you've had over the years, surely you didn't like all of it, but you didn't say, oh, well, this is non-vegan, so I'm not, it's like, what,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like our way of, as humans, is categorizing things. When something is so, like, we're so accustomed to something, we no longer see it as being like something we're going to put a label on, we're going to categorize it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to help people get to, because for me, as someone who's been vegan for a long time, I don't think of it like, oh, like I would like to eat chicken today, but I'm going to replace that chicken with chickpeas, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
second nature. I am a vegan, but my identity as like when I go about my day, I'm not thinking I'm a vegan person.
Yeah.
I'm at this restaurant, I'm going to be a vegan person. Like it's how I live. Just like
Yep.
other people eat a standard American diet, this is how I eat. I don't really think about it unless it is for my work and I'm trying to
Yeah.
communicate it and highlight the benefits of it. But otherwise, it's just like breathing to me, you know? And that's what I really want to help people get to. Because I used to be a private chef, and people would always tell me, especially I would in New York City, I would do like little tastings at the yoga studio I used to go to, Pure Yoga, and people would, taste the food and be like, oh my goodness, if I could eat like this every day, then I could be vegan, you know? So I'm trying to help people realize, well, actually, you can eat
You can.
you really can,
Yeah.
like, and you will feel great, and it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to hire a private chef to cook
Right.
for you to eat this way. And that's part of why I shifted from that's not the only reason I shifted from private chefing.
Sure.
A lot of work
I
physically,
understand completely. Yep.
working in restaurants. But part of like that justification to myself of like why this is a great idea for me to shift all my energy from private chefing in New York City to doing stuff online is so that I can teach people how to do it for themselves,
Absolutely. So they can catch that vibe, the good vibe. Absolutely. And from the jump in this book, you're getting us in with the introduction that talks about the fundamentals of veganism and how to use the book, pantry essentials, and cheat code tools. So when we're looking at that, this goes over the right kitchen tools to have. What would you say is your most used kitchen tool?
Okay. Do you want to narrow it down? Are we like small appliance and they want to plug in, or just like a tool like a knife or a cutting board?
Let's go. What would be most helpful for someone who's just catching the vibe?
Okay, I think honestly, a good knife and a cutting board.
Yep.
Fundamental, right? Because it's so frustrating when you're trying to prep vegetables with a bad knife in your
It is the worst. And I think so many people get sidetracked from going, oh, well, it's just terrible. I hate cutting vegetables. I'm like, maybe you didn't have a good knife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it takes me so long. People are
Mhm.
always telling me, oh, especially my mom, it takes me because she sees me cook. She comes to my house all the time.
Uh-huh.
It took me 30 minutes to do that. It took you 30 seconds. Yes, because I have a good knife.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
I will say though, for people who are new and also are not just new to being vegan, but new to cooking, and maybe even for people who just really genuinely do not like to prep vegetables, you don't want to be chopping, slicing, dicing, none of that. You can also buy a chopper. Remember the choppers from the 90s that you cut down? You can buy I have one where you put the vegetable in. You do have to like still cut it a little.
Yeah, you got to give it a little. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a little something, which is easy. It takes 5
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Down perfect dices for your onions and your celery and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and even, another tool that this is my other tool, if you ask me about, like a plug-in appliance, a food processor. Food
Yeah.
processors are amazing for prepping vegetables. You can chop on them just like with a regular blade.
Yep.
You can shred. You have the shredding attachment. You can do all of your prep with a food processor. And yeah, I mean, I would still recommend a good quality knife, regardless how often you're using it, just because when you are using it, it's going to be a lot easier to use. It's going to be safer. You're less likely to slip up and cut your whole hand off,
Yep.
even just a little boo-boo. But
Mm-hmm.
the processor really can help you too. So don't let that prep slow you down.
Yeah, there's so many workarounds with it. Did you grow up with did you have a food processor in your home when you were growing up?
No, did you?
Me neither.
I don't know who did. I don't know this.
And it's life changing, and it can do so many things, like you're saying, and it's just
Yeah,
like it
worth the money for sure because it can be
yeah.
expensive, but it's worth it.
And, like, there's some fairly inexpensive ones that do the trick, like, there's, like, $50 ones, which to me, for a device that's gonna do all these things for you
No,
is pretty worth it.
yeah,
So, yeah, we
so
didn't grow up with one, and I remember I was in culinary school, and we had to keep busting it out for stuff, and
yeah.
I was like, "What is this, like, thing? What is going," and then I was like, "Oh, this is kinda magical." And then, as I explore all these books and everything, and I'm like, "Oh, we're all using food processors now." I was like, and I whenever I try to ask people, I'm like, "Did you grow up with it?" Because I felt like maybe it was just me, but, like,
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
alone on that.
know
Yeah.
anybody who grew up with it, and also so my mom had a cleaning service until 2 years ago, she retired, and I grew up working with her and cleaning houses, and I don't know if I love cleaning kitchens, but if
Sure.
she forced me to clean, which she did for, like, 10 years of my
Uh-huh.
life, my my preference was to clean the kitchen, and so I was pretty familiar with people's appliances, and
Sure.
I don't remember a food processor.
Same
Like,
food processor.
I saw them occasionally, but it
Yeah.
was not ubiquitous whatsoever back then, like in the 90s and early 2000s. No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah. So, everybody, if you've been considering a food processor, this is officially your
Yeah,
sign. We are
it
saying
is,
go for it.
it is.
Well, let's dive into the recipes of sweet potato soul, vegan vibes, 100 soulful plant-based recipes for healthy everyday meals. We're starting off with brilliant breakfast. Also, your gorgeous family is all throughout this entire
Yes,
book. They are in the vibe with you here. It's fantastic. So we start off here. Who do we have in this photo here? I have
my
guesses, but you
daughter in
tell
the
me.
center, Georgie, and then my grandmother to the well, from my perspective, the left.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
If you're looking at the book. But yeah, it's my nana. She kind of is, stories about her are pretty predominant in my first cookbook as well. Um, but yeah, she's amazing. I learned a lot of I don't know if I learned so much how to cook from her, but I learned like the true essence of cooking from her.
Mhm.
That's why sweet potato soul is called sweet potato soul,
Yep.
because my nana told me when I was 5 years old or something. I remember her saying multiple times, like over and over, but like whenever you cook, you got to put some soul in it. And but she would be cooking something like she would say that when she's making just like yeah, beans, right? Or
Mhm.
or pancakes. It was not just like traditional soul food. She just always
Mhm.
did that and she still does that. She's always done
Mm.
and so for me, my approach to food, especially early on when I was really just learning, was like, and playing around with recipes was like, how can I infuse soul? What does it mean to infuse soul? It doesn't mean like certain spices or anything, but it means a certain intention and passion and like love for what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And this breakfast chapter has me drooling. We've got divinely decadent chocolate pancakes,
Okay.
lentil lover breakfast sausages, leek mushroom quiche, better buttermilk waffles, wild morning mushroom avocado toast, which I'm here for, rose tahini granola. So
Yeah.
many wonderful recipes popping off this page. What is a go-to breakfast in here for you?
Okay, for in there, I'm a more savory girl, I will say. So the quiche for me is just like top notch. It's so top notch also because you can make it. It's really good for meal prep. So, make it on a Sunday.
Mhm.
And if you double the recipe, you can have it like throughout the
That's
week.
right.
I love savory breakfast. And then I will say it is my birthday is coming up and we are doing a brunch, like a family brunch. And I'm not going to cook a whole bunch of stuff. I asked people to please bring stuff because it is my day. But I'm going to make a few recipes from the cookbook and I'm going to do the spelt biscuits with the sweet potato butter,
Nice.
divine, and I'm also going to do those divinely decadent chocolate pancakes.
Mhm.
The thing is funny though, this cookbook, I love nutrition. I love being healthy, but part of me being healthy is like I'm not 100% like I don't have like any health anxiety. I'm not like
Right.
never eat oil, never eat processed food, never eat refined sugar. No, we have a little bit of that in the book, right? And
Uh-huh.
the divinely decadent pancakes are
Yeah.
in that category of like, this is a special occasion.
Yeah. Yep.
Likewise, those buttermilk waffles, they taste like Waffle House, but like way
Oh,
better. They're like gourmet and you made them at home.
I can't wait.
They're also in that like very special occasion, birthday.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
a lot of stuff like that. Avocado toast, you mentioned, every day. Quiche, every day. There's a savory oats bowl every day.
Yep.
Grits every day, because I do healthy grits, by the way.
The grits in here, we got garlicky greens and grits, everybody.
Healthy grits.
And then even wholesome buckwheat crepes too. You got
right. Those are super nutritious. They're so good. Love crepes. And why not swap out I think it's like an Eastern European way to do it like that, though, with the buckwheat flour, which is genius, though. It's gluten-free. It's incredibly nutritious. So much flavor, like earthy, almost nutty flavor.
Yeah, that's
and then you
great.
see what I put inside, though, the chocolate tahini sauce.
So good. Well, and
hungry.
Also, we've got in this chapter Beta Boost carrot and mango muffins. I am here for that combo. I am here for that combo. Just an addictive shiitake bacon. Listen, my husband hates mushrooms, but he loves shiitake bacon, so we have to try yours because I'm sure he'll be in love with it. He actually, whenever he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna cook tonight," this is always the first cookbook he pulls out. And everybody, I'm showing Jenné her own book, her first book.
That's amazing.
You know, because I'm always like taking over the kitchen, but he literally will be like, "I'm gonna cook tonight," and then I come in and he's always got this one out. It's the one that he gravitates towards. Yeah. He loves the crab cakes. I love them too, but like that's just one of his favorite recipes to make.
Great.
My goodness. Well, next we've got some items to keep the vibes fresh at any party with fun and fancy snacks and apps. Killer kimchi sweet potato pancake. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about in here. And curry crunch pepitas, crispy cranberry Brussels sprouts, beet latkes, and hot cocoa kale chips. Tell me about the hot cocoa kale chips, please.
Remember when kale chips were really popular?
Oh, sure.
2011, 12, right? And there was like, everyone was making them at the grocery store. There was like a whole section. All the health food stores had like a section of kale chips. Well, back then is when I originally created that recipe. And I always I love kale chips. I love kale, but I always love that crazy, unexpected combination of the sweet and salty with cocoa. Like, I don't know how I created it a long time ago, so I cannot exactly remember. I might have seen somebody else did something like that. I might have seen it at a grocery store. I'm not sure. But that combination is so unexpected. And again, it's that sweet and it's kind of, I put it's like slightly salty, which is my favorite combo. But that cocoa, it's like an earthiness and it's like, imagine a salty chocolate, right? Chocolate bar.
Nice. Great way to get those greens in right there too, please. Oh, I love that. It's funny you said that about kale chips. So when I was in your area, when I was in Atlanta, when I was working as the culinary director for Arden's Garden, they had these cheesy kale chips they had on their menu forever. And I kind of went wild and created 3 or 4 more versions. I don't know if they sell them anymore, but for a while we had a really popular everything everything bagel seasoning on a kale chip. That was my contribution, but I was so proud of it because I love everything bagel seasoning on everything. And I was like, great, let's just make a kale chip with it, because the kale chip craze basically, right? And right on brand for Arden's Garden.
It needs to come back though, because no shade. However, there are so many more packaged food brands today, right? And they're vegan and that's great, but they're not the most nutritious, right? And I think people fall into the trap, especially longtime vegans, yes, but a lot of new vegans are like, ooh, I'm gonna go vegan. It's gonna be so easy. Every time I go to Whole Foods, there's a whole pile of crackers, cookies, da. And I think you could fall into that trap. You end up eating way too much sodium, way too much food, not cooking at home enough, spending way too much money. But kale chips will give you that satisfaction of the crunch, the salty, the because they have that caramelization and also that not burnt, because they're not burnt, but whatever
just
that is.
Nice, and it's crispy, and it's got a little bit of a robust flavor from the green that comes through a little bit, plus the other flavoring you're adding to it, so there's a balance there.
And they're so easy. So you can buy them at the store for sure, but they're literally so, I think the hardest part about making kale chips, honestly, is washing the kale.
100%.
Easy, right? But otherwise, just wash the kale, and there you go.
I might say one of the reasons I first got a dehydrator back in the day was because I
Oh,
was like, oh, I want to like nail my kale chip game here.
yes.
And now, I'm in a smaller place, so my beautiful dehydrator is in storage right now, but I do miss it because when they're in the oven, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch those a little
Yeah, you
closer.
do. Oh, yes, you do.
Because you let it go 2 minutes too long and you're like, oh, well, there goes that
Start over.
batch, right? Yeah.
And after you wash that kale, you do not want to have to do that again.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You know what though? For a little quick tip though, for if anybody eats a lot of vegetables, really a lot of greens, kale, any of that, lettuce, I recommend investing in a restaurant grade salad spinner. That's what I have. It's like $130, which I thought was
Worth it though.
money. It is so worth it because again, I've been vegan for 14 years. I've been eating like all these greens the
Yeah.
entire time. I have gone through at least 4 different regular size salad spinners, and they're each like $30.
Yeah.
So now,
It adds up.
yeah, a couple years ago, it was like when we first moved to Georgia, like 3 years ago, I didn't have a salad spinner and the move, I don't know if it was broke before or what, I don't know. I was like, "You know what? I'm done buying salad spinners. I'm done. I use them way too much and I'm sick of them breaking and they're too expensive. Let me see if I can get a restaurant quality one." And it's ugly. It looks like a Home Depot
Is
bucket.
it like the kind that's on the floor that rolls? Is
It
it that big?
no, it's like the size of a Home Depot bucket. Like it looks like it's orange, just
Yep.
like the bucket.
Yep.
It
Yep.
is like the Home Depot bucket, but they put like a cap on and you spin it. And I put it
Yeah.
in the sink. It's enormous. It takes a while to dry
Yeah.
because it takes up my whole counter. But what I do is I only take it out like once a week and I will wash my greens and then just pack them with, paper towel.
Yeah.
And now I have clean greens. But it is so sturdy. It's never going to break. I mean, eventually, maybe after like 10 years, I don't know.
Yeah. But
Sturdy. You don't have to worry about that. And because it's heavy duty, you can spin it with the water in there, which I feel like really helps to get the greens clean.
yeah.
Ugly. I hope if you buy it, you have somewhere to put it and like
Yeah.
hide it.
Yeah.
But it is so worth the money for sure.
I love that. I asked if it was one on the ground because at Arden's we had this huge
Oh,
one that like we rolled around the production room so that we could get it from place to
wow.
place, but it
Yes.
was huge and it
Here we
like
go. This is a real
like
restaurant.
what's the robot in I don't know what that movie is, R2D2 or
Oh,
whatever it,
yeah.
it looked like
Ollie.
it was like that
Oh,
big.
okay. RTGT. So like Star Wars.
Yeah, thank you. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
goodness. Well, sorry everybody. Little kale washing tips and
Oh,
tangent
yes.
for you. You're welcome. Well, fun and fancy snacks and apps. So, what's a couple items from here that are like just a crowd pleaser through and through, always, no matter what?
Ooh, okay. You got to do the mushroom hummus. You
I
have to.
just looked at that one. I was like,
Have
ah,
to. I mean, it's a must. It's a must. So that one and also the sticky fingers edamame. Very easy
mm-hmm.
to make. Definitely when you're making your hummus, start with, raw chickpeas. You can use canned. If in a bind, that's fine, but you're gonna have the best texture and it's so easy. I mean, especially if you have an Instant Pot, why not use the dry chickpeas?
Do you take the skins off when you make the hummus?
Don't even bother. I don't even bother. I don't do all that.
I had a guest on once who was like, the secret is you take
Right.
the skins off. And I was like, well, I appreciate that secret, but I don't know what kind of time you have in your day, but that's not what I'll be doing. Thank you so much.
Exactly. But if you
Ooh.
want like a meditative, thing to do, you could I mean, I've done that making tempeh because if you make
Sure.
tempeh, you should do that. I'm trying to remember if it's with the soybeans also because I've done tempeh with chickpeas and tempeh, but it's like
Did you ever go to Barry's in New York and make tempeh?
Did I ever go to where?
Do you
Barry's?
remember Barry's
I buy
tempeh?
their tempeh.
They used to have a thing, and again, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just got
Really?
excited because I remember we both used to be
Oh,
in New York.
yes.
Barry's had this thing where you could go volunteer like once a month and then
Oh, I
make tempeh with them. By
didn't
the
know
time I caught on and heard about it, they had like a break in production. Do they still exist? Do you know?
I hope so. I think they do. I think I looked it up
I
not too long
love Barry's tempeh.
ago. I used to buy it at Integral Yoga grocery store.
Okay, yeah.
And then they had, like, black-eyed pea,
Uh,
black bean, chickpea,
yeah,
regular
yeah.
soy.
But sorry, I cut you off. You're talking about the skins. You're not going to take the skins off for.
No, it's too tedious. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm not into it either. Now, what makes the sticky fingers edamame? So what's on the edamame?
It's just so it's super, super, super easy, by the way. This is a good one for if you got people coming over, you need something super last minute and
Mm-hmm.
easy, but you want to impress them. So you saute garlic and ginger. Okay. You can chop it in your little tiny food processor if you get a little one, which I do recommend. Garlic, ginger, saute, and you steam the edamame separately. And then you're adding chili sauce, like garlic chili sauce, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of soy sauce, and sesame seeds and sesame oil, and toss. And voila, that's it. It's like 7 ingredients or something. It's so
Delicious.
easy. And it's sticky and yummy.
This will be another one. So my husband is a big fan of edamame, so he'll be. I mean, he will be pulling this book out all the time as well. I know it. So many other fabulous bites to mention, and here we got the gochujang corn ribs, sunflower cheese, easy peasy crispy beans, beet lime chutney. Everybody, brilliant beet black bean dip, hot stuff harissa almonds, jerk sweet potato street fries, Bali shaved Brussels, and eat more tofu nuggets and orange cauliflower bites. And this bringing on the nutrition front, we're going to bring it front and center here by making vegetables the star. We move into our next chapter, which is super satisfying salads and soups. So what's like a favorite in here? Someone just gets this book today. It arrived on their doorstep today. What's the first thing you're going to tell them to make out of this chapter?
This chapter, okay. For the soup, one that I have been craving, I've been meaning to go to the store and get the ingredients, is I think it's called the seaside stew. And that is like a mushroom chowder. I was trying to do a clam chowder with mushrooms. It turned out so good. You use an assortment of mushrooms, so you have different textures in there. And then they're very similar to, sea animal, seafood. So it's really good for people who, like, for me, not the last thing, but I think the hardest thing to give up before I became a vegan, and before that, I think I was vegetarian for a minute, was seafood. Like, I didn't want to give that up. And so this is that with mushrooms. And again, like we said, that's nutritious. It's satisfying that same, like, that urge if you love seafood, that texture. And the key ingredient in this one, aside from the mushrooms, is the ume plum vinegar, which has a really flavor. And so that really, in my opinion, really takes it to the next level. If you like mushrooms, make that one ASAP, like right away.
Yes, you're the reason we keep ume plum vinegar in the house, by the way.
Good. I've had other people tell me that, and I'm like, oh my God, that is such an
because it's a vibe, babe. It's a vibe. You're giving the vibe. Come on. Putting that vibe in the cupboard right there. I love it. So much good stuff in here, though. Party Hardy kale soup, cozy chickpea tomato soup, sweet potato bisque. What's a favorite? So we got the seaside stew. What about a favorite salad for you? What would you tell that person to make the salad they should make from here?
Salad with that one. First thing that came to mind was a kimchi kale salad. So if you want to stick with like those like really pungent flavors, then I would do that one. That would super simple too. But if I wanted something light, because maybe the heaviness from that chowder, because it does have coconut milk in it, so it's a chowder, right? For a light salad, I would say the rad strawberry salad. The strawberry vinaigrette, it's really nice. Really just like, it'll help balance everything out, nice and fresh and springy. And
love it. What else is in it? So it's the strawberry vinaigrette, and then what else is in it?
And the reason I call it the rad strawberry salad is because it's got radicchio in it.
There we go.
Color too, right? The bitterness from the radicchio, which again, it's really a nice balance when you're having a chowder. So radicchio, romaine is the main green in there. But yeah, and that strawberry dressing, what else did I put? Strawberry vinaigrette. I don't remember. I have the book right here also.
All the good stuff. All the good stuff,
All the good stuff. That's why it's delicious.
Let's see.
Yes.
We can pop it open here.
I think it's red wine vinegar, or it might be champagne vinegar. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, this is So easy to make. So many
Yeah.
but you're right. So we got romaine radicchio, we got that strawberry vinaigrette, we got the easy peasy crispy beans made with chickpeas, we got
Yes.
shallot in here, and then sliced strawberries for garnish. So that's gonna be like a
Yes.
great mix of flavors and nice and fresh and sweet with that
So
pop of
fresh.
strawberry all over it. So
And you don't
yummy.
like radicchio because a lot of people don't like the bitterness, which I get.
But
You can still
you're
get
pairing it with the sweet goodness there, so we're getting some balance.
love radicchio. Like to me, oh man, don't skip it.
What
I
about this
forgot.
peach white bean salad?
Yes, that one is really nice also for the summertime. That peach dressing is really nice and creamy. It's got miso in it. It helps balance
Mmm.
everything, adds a little depth to it. And miso honestly is good in everything from savory to sweet,
I
from
love it so
chocolate
much.
to fruit.
It's
Like
like my favorite thing.
same. I could
I
not, like,
just
Lord, don't let me live without miso.
I have
I
said it probably on this podcast so many times. Like when I get down to like my container is like a quarter full, I'm like, there's like small panic. I'm like, I need to make a run, and then I might have 2 backup containers in the fridge. I'm like, you know.
One of my friends, I won't name any names, told me that they have not had miso in their house in like a year or 2 years or something like that. And I said, because this person also does not buy vegetable bouillon paste, which I love, better than bouillon. Okay, so this person does not buy that, and because of the natural flavors in there, because we don't know what that is,
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh,
they were
uh-huh.
asking me for suggestions for tips on what to use instead because they didn't have it because they're making a soup. I said, "Oh, miso, right? Like
Uh-huh.
miso is gonna make everything taste good, right?"
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
haven't had miso in my house in like 2 years, and I almost passed out. It's
I-
like, don't you know better? Haven't I taught you?
You're like, are you okay? Who hurt you? What's going
Yeah,
on?
why are you doing this to yourself? You need help. Seek help. I'm gonna buy you something.
Oh,
Bring it over.
yeah, right. You pop over with some miso. Here you go. Ding
Yeah.
dong. Hello.
Always have
Oh, I
to.
feel you on that. I feel you all the way. We're moving into everyday entrees, and just off the bat here, we have this beautiful photo with the mushrooms. Uh,
Yes.
you have such a beautiful love of mushrooms, and you share it with all of us, which I'm so grateful for. And then, of course, another gorgeous picture, you and your baby.
That's
Such a
my
lovely
favorite in the whole
photo.
book, though.
It's
That's the
so
best.
good. So
And we're
sweet.
eating the perfect pea pesto pasta there.
Uh,
Her and I.
and it's gorgeous. I mean, yeah,
Pretty.
there's food in the photo too, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
beautiful bowl of pasta. And
yeah.
I love that you say in this in the beginning, you say you think veggies, beans, and grains deserve more shine than they are used to getting on the plate. And I agree with you. And you deliver on that sentiment with items like righteous rigatoni bolognese, coconut black bean stew, Moroccan spiced cauliflower, green jackfruit chili, roasted grape bulgur pilaf, miso, creamy corn pasta. Oh, I want that right now.
I
Listen
have
to that.
miso in like so many of
Delicious.
these recipes. Like you wouldn't expect it, but it's in
Oh,
like so many.
pure comfort carrot tuna melt, curried red bean, and what's the miso you keep on hand? I keep a white mellow miso
Same.
usually. Yeah. That to me that's the most versatile. You can get
Absolutely.
the other ones, but like the flavor is usually just like a little deeper, and it's not as versatile to use in like
Right.
different
Those
recipes
other
and
ones are
stuff.
like vegetable soups,
Yeah,
barley soups. Yes,
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But yes, you're right. Mellow white every day.
Every day, every
Yeah.
day. So what's some stuff in here? Maybe we're throwing a dinner party. How are we gonna wow our guests in here? I mean, obviously any of them would do, but say I'm coming over for dinner tonight. What are you making me?
Okay, let me tell you what I'm making you. Okay. The other day, I actually did have a dinner party and I made the bolognese, but I did not use the rigatoni because one of my
Mm.
guests was celiac. So
Okay.
instead of the actual rigatoni pasta, I did spaghetti squash, just roasted, just cut it in half and roast it. Like that's easy. So I did that with that same rigatoni sauce,
Love that.
and she loved it. I also love making I already mentioned it, but that perfect pea pesto pasta. It is
Mm-hmm.
so easy to make. It's ridiculous. And my friends, because I tested these recipes with my friends, now they request certain things when I come over, and they always request this one. Like,
I love it.
this is the one. And it's, like I said, so easy to make. And it looks and tastes like something we eat at a restaurant,
Yeah.
but they don't have to know how easy it was. And you
Yeah.
need a food processor for it, by the way. So get your food
Look
processor.
at that. Another sign, listener.
If you're gonna do, like, I think for something like Valentine's Day this year, I might do the za'atar cauliflower steaks. It's nice, it's like an entree thing, and then do that over the bulgur pilaf. Oh, here it is, the roasted grape bulgur pilaf. Do it with the za'atar cauliflower steaks. Those will pair very, very nicely together. But okay, I got one more. Let me give you one more option though, because if you want like an Asian inspired dinner, I should recommend the mushroom bulgogi lettuce cups. They are so, lettuce cups usually at a restaurant, you get them as an appetizer. These serve them with rice. They are so divine. Like,
Love that.
use lion's mane. If you can't use lion's mane, you can use any other like cremini mushroom, but so much flavor. And pair that in like with these other recipes in the book. Maybe do the edamame to start, and maybe do like a one of the soups, even like the one I mentioned, that mushroom soup, and then do the lettuce cups with rice, and maybe like one other salad or something, and it'll just be so complete. Ooh, you could do that with the corn ribs, actually. That would be really good.
The gochujang corn ribs?
Yeah, they're insanely easy to make also. They're so good.
So good. Gochujang. I mean, just delicious.
Another thing, how do you live without that?
How do you live without that? I know. Well, there's also, everybody, Jenné has lion's mane crab cakes in here. So the crab cakes in book 1 are a winner. I know these ones. It's like those things when you develop recipes, it's like you go, oh, well, I had these ones before. What are we going to do now? How's it going to be different? How are we going to elevate it? So I know that's going to be a winner.
Exactly. It is. And definitely lion's mane has, even in Atlanta, it's been a little bit hard to find recently. I was surprised because it was like DeKalb Farmers Market was my go-to source. The regular farmers market down the street from me, the Carter Center one has them, but you got to get there early. So I didn't want to put too much lion's mane because it's kind of like the access to it can fluctuate. So I give recommendations for swaps. And my other crab cakes are also just as good. So if you can't do the lion's mane crab cakes, you got to make the ones that Dustin was talking about from the first book.
And it will not hurt you to have both of these books in your library, everybody. So come on. Chef Reed from Lassamia is stealing all those mushrooms from all the markets around you. That's what's happening.
That's where they're going. Since they got popular, now I can't find them.
I mean, come on. He's got such mushroom love. He does.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the inside scoop.
You're right. You're going to be showing up being like, excuse me.
Give me one. I just need
one, please. Now when you can't find it, you show up there, you'd be like, can I just have one? I just need
I gotta make these crab cakes.
Yeah, come on. A couple other ones I want to mention because they got my eye. Teriyaki tempeh tacos and mushroom carnitas tacos. You even have a tofu salmon in here, parsnip carrot curry. So everybody, so many different dishes in here for everyday entrees for you to explore. And this will be your go-to book for all kinds of recipes, but definitely dinners for your weeknight, for your weekend, anytime to get that vibe on, And next is divine desserts, and I'm done for here with the first recipe being miso caramely banana pudding. So please tell us more.
Listen, that miso caramel for that banana.
Oh, I'm listening.
Listen, I just
yes.
It's so good. It's so good. I haven't had it in a while, Dustin. Okay.
I was writing this a couple days ago, like my notes, and I almost was like, well, I gotta go make this right now. Like I just there's times when I'm going through a book and I'm like, that's when I'm into it. When I was like, well, I'm not gonna make any notes. I'm gonna go make this right now.
I will say, now that we're talking about this, I didn't think about this before, but I'm gonna make these when my family comes over Sunday. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this because I bought bananas the other day. I never buy bananas anymore because I don't really snack on them. I usually just buy them to make something. So here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, nice. You did it. There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Event planner here. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Thank you. The miso, again, remember we said the miso can pair with anything? It can. It really does. It brings out, especially in a caramel, it's like, everybody knows salted caramel is so good, right?
Yeah.
But when the salt is coming from the miso, it's 6 times better,
Yeah, I can't wait to make this. So then it's going on. It's a vanilla pudding, and then we've got banana, and we've got the vanilla wafers in there. Is that right?
get the vegan vanilla wafers. Whole Foods is where I buy them. But yeah, and it's pretty simple. It's got a few parts to it, but it is quite simple. The pudding is so easy to make. You can always make your own pudding at home. You don't have to, like my recipe shows you. It's like 4 ingredients. There you go. So you can stop buying at the store.
Yeah. That's so great. So great.
Pudding now too for tonight, and then this will be for Sunday. Yeah.
Which one are you gonna make?
It's not in this recipe, but now I just want chocolate pudding right
now.
now.
I hear you. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. Well, what's another a favorite of yours from the dessert section?
Another favorite. Oh, okay, Dustin. These cookies, these cornmeal blueberry cookies. I got to tell you this story about these.
Please.
So, is it Little Tart Bakery here in Atlanta?
Yes, that sounds correct.
Yeah, they have a store in Krog City Market.
Yes, yeah.
This cookie, right? And I always get it at the farmers market by the Carter Center. We go on Saturday mornings, but this cookie is my favorite. They only have like 2 or 3 vegan options.
I know. I always got that lavender scone. I hear you. Yep.
And then they recently had a zucchini muffin. They don't give us many options, but when they do, they slap, right? This cookie I thought was so fantastic. I was like, I have to recreate this for my book. Everybody needs this. And testing it was so funny because for my testing, a lot of like when I'm really first trying a recipe, I take it to people who are really like not vegan, like they're like skeptics. So my daughter was going to a daycare and everybody there was like, kind of like, you're vegan? Like, what's that mean? What do you eat? You eat fish, right? Like that type of vibe. And so I was like, perfect. The whole time I was testing this book, honestly, them stuff. And they still talk about these cookies. My daughter didn't even go to school no more. But whenever we see, it's so close. So I see the ladies who work there sometime in the neighborhood, and they're like, girl, when are you going to bring me some more cookies? Those cookies you got to make. You got to.
Now you just need to take them the recipe.
Yes. I know. Like, ladies, here's your book. You make it yourself at home and bring me one.
Bring me some and you're welcome. Yes, please.
They're so good.
I will make those cookies. You also have a cardamom brown sugar pound cake in here.
Yes.
Georgia peach ice cream, perfect peach pie.
Chocolate pecan pie.
Sweet potato double chocolate muffins. Yes, you said the chocolate pecan pie and avocado pineapple ice pops. And now we're on to a chapter called Better Beverages. So you have some unique and colorful twists on classics in here. We're looking at things like a peach tea soda, hibiscus pineapple skin tea, green girl gimlet, lemongrass cinnamon tea, healthy orange free. What's a bevy? If you could have a bevy right in front of you from here to sip on, what would you pick?
Right now, I think I'd like I want that frozen beet margarita. I'm not really doing alcohol anymore though, and I'm using the Ritual tequila.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
You could do an alcohol free, just buy that. That's what I want right now.
I do all that stuff too.
I don't even like frozen margaritas until this.
Yeah.
I don't like frozen stuff, but I wanted to do something different. I don't want to be selfish, just do what I think I like, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna branch out. I'm gonna do frozen margarita. I really already knew I was gonna do beets. Listen, I'm a convert now. Now I love frozen margaritas. I was wrong before.
I did a margarita. So I'm a big Reba McEntire fan, and in my second book, I created a margarita called Margariba.
Yeah.
And it's I wanted it to be red, so it's like a beet ginger margarita.
Ooh,
and I had at the time I had an intern who used to be a bartender, and I don't drink, so I was like, I want the non-alcoholic version of this, but you got to figure out the alcoholic version. So it was kind of perfect, but it's the same thing. Like I wasn't finding myself like craving a margarita or anything, but then I have that and I'm like, ooh, I want that now. We ended up serving it as our signature cocktail at our wedding. Yeah.
Oh
so I had a friend say to me, as a side tangent here, at the wedding, she goes, well, I mean, I didn't really like the drink. And I was like, some things you don't need to tell people. She goes, but I had it with vodka instead of tequila. And I was like, well, then you didn't have the drink. I was like, so this conversation is over, but thank you so much.
Exactly. That's like saying I'm going to use chili powder instead of curry.
Thank you. That's exactly right. I was like,
I'm on your side here.
Yeah, I was like, easy with that. Compliment? Not really a compliment. Well, listen, we're on to our final chapter here. It's called Save These Sauces and
Yeah.
Flavor Makers, with a great opening line that simply says, let's face it, you're so much more likely to make a salad if the dressing is already made. And it's so true. So, what are a couple dressings in here that you know are going to have people making their salads and getting their
Yes.
veggies in?
Honestly, and the thing is, they're so easy to make, right? The pomegranate vinaigrette, which is the last one on here. These are like in random order. They are not in order of
Okay.
my love, right?
Sure.
Pomegranate vinaigrette, a must. So good. Put it on anything. It's got pomegranate molasses, lime in there, cumin, cinnamon. It goes on grains, salads, roast veggies, anything. And then also, if you want more of like an everyday dressing, the lemon vinaigrette, like that's a must. I usually will do apple cider vinegar because a lot of times I don't have fresh lemons because I
Sure.
don't, but always have apple cider vinegar. So you could swap that out and just make that and throughout the week. But let me tell you, like this one right here, this image for this walnut parm.
Yeah.
This is another item that I always keep in my refrigerator. My daughter would eat it with a spoon if I let her, but it's supposed to be a condiment, but she's my meal. It's supposed to be a condiment, and it's great sprinkled on anything.
Yeah.
It's crunchy. It's got miso. Okay, got miso.
I'm on board.
We know we love it.
Sign me up. Yes, yes. And made in a food processor, I would imagine.
You know it,
Look
right?
at that.
Let me get a food processor ambassadorship.
Oh my gosh, no kidding after this. And I gotta tell you, the walnut parm, I get it. We'll do walnut, cashew, hemp seeds, like what you've probably played around with all of them, and it's like it is supposed to be sprinkled on stuff, but like a little spoonful every now and then is so delicious. It just tastes so good.
You too. Why not?
Yeah, why not? And so listen, everybody, so much great stuff. Miso tahini sauce, perfect every time brown rice, sweet potato pie spice, sweet potato syrup, rose simple syrup, tantalizing tahini chocolate sauce, peach salsa. We got mango guacamole, peach miso dressing.
Yes.
Come on, that combo is just so delicious. Even a curry vinaigrette in here. And that rounds out this absolutely fabulous and stunning book, giving me all the vibes: sweet potato soul, vegan vibes, 100 soulful plant-based recipes for healthy everyday meals. Look at that gorgeous book. I love that purple color again. Purple and the yellow, so good together. So listen, what's your book brag? The book is out in the world today. What's something you're most proud of when it comes to this book?
I am most proud of the eclectic and vibrant nature of these recipes. Like even sitting here with you talking about them, I feel so proud. Like I know what they taste like. I'm excited for people to try them themselves in their homes. To me, even having worked on this for so long, I am still so excited about all these recipes. So yeah, I'm you go, girl.
Absolutely. Yes. Pat on that back for sure. Good, good, good. I love that. That's a great book brag. And now we're going to get into your rapid fire. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Would you prefer to have unlimited time or unlimited energy?
Ooh, energy.
Okay.
No, time.
Time. Oh,
I don't know, Dustin. I don't know.
It is a hard one, right? I've asked that 2 or 3 times now. I think I might take it off the list because it's like, well, either way, like,
It's a toughie.
You're going with time, I feel like.
I think I'm gonna go with time because then I don't need as much energy.
You don't need as much energy. You can be lazy. You can, yeah.
I don't want to be bored. That's the
right. Thing. I get that. I feel that. Yeah. Books or movies?
Oh, that's a hard one too. I'm a 50-50 girl. I am a 50-50 girl.
That's all right.
I read books every single day. I watch movies maybe every once a month.
So. Okay. All right. Okay. Texting or calling?
Text.
I know. Quiet morning walk or a late night stroll?
Ooh, quiet morning walk.
Camping or glamping?
Glamping. Never done either.
You're like, never, but if I had to, it's glamping for sure. Absolutely. Beach sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Sweet or salty snack?
Oof. Ooh, both.
I know. Put it together. What do you got? The most perfect snack ever. You can have both. That's fine. Would you rather have another brain that's gonna hurt? Same meal every day or never repeat a meal?
Never repeat a meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solo brainstorming or group collaboration?
Mm. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm a both. I need a both. I have to.
I do too. I like to start solo, but then once I kind of have a vision, I like to get
Exactly.
more
And you
input
try
and start
to
parsing it out together and
yes,
it's
yes.
good.
Same.
Work in silence or with background noise?
Background noise.
Do you prefer a big party or small gathering?
Small.
And plane travel or road trip?
Plane.
All right, Jenné, please let everyone know where they can find you on social media and the internet, my dear.
You can find me at Sweet Potato Soul anywhere, everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere, Sweet Potato Soul, you got it. And of course, everyone go get your copy of Sweet Potato Soul Vegan Vibes. Just came out today. 100 soulful plant-based recipes for healthy everyday meals. Right now, everywhere books are sold. You will be so happy you did. And Jenné, I can't thank you enough for returning to the pod, and congratulations on another fabulous book. Thank you for making the time to be here today and sharing some stories behind the recipes with us.
Of course, I'm so honored. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening. We'd be so grateful if you would rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us.
Yes, thank you so much. And don't forget to check out keeponcookin.com for all of the latest in recipes and Keep On Cooking updates. This has been a Muzzy Cat production.